All right, guys, we need to get this bad run of form put to an end. We've lost two in a row, and we drew the game before that. We're a better team than this. Well, we have made a couple of transfers, and so hopefully we will be able to come up with something against Al-Jazira. I mean, we'll see what happens. We're in ninth position, which is pretty flattering considering how poorly we played in the last match. I have put a number of players out on loan now. It does mean that our ranks are going to be much thinner. You have to remember, one of the reasons that we're having problems is that we have our two starting defensive midfielders who both were injured at the same time right before the beginning of the season, and it makes the things a little bit difficult for us. We do have players coming in, although they're all young and mostly are probably going to play like that. We gave up that ball a little bit too quickly. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Lee Ki-sung is able to get that one back. And so on we go. Lee Han-bum over to Lee Ki-sung, back to Lee Han-bum, over to Lee Ki-sung again. And he does well to hold on to it. Ki Sung-young over to Lee Yeon-sung, Lee Tae-suk, and that was a pretty poor header. I hope that putting some of these problem players out on loan will solve the morale issues that we're having. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Morale in this game is completely overpowered. In Kyu ends up with a header that is caught by their keeper, and so that was pretty good. Hopefully we will be able to get this turned around. Lee Tae-suk over to Osmar, down to Lee Han-bum. Lee Han-bum to Go Yo-han, back to Lee Han-bum, and he ends up preventing them from attacking. And so that was pretty good. Go Yo-han with it here right side over to Lee Ki-sung. Now, the other thing that we need to do, as I've said before, is we need to look into getting rid of these guys who are over 30. We can't get rid of them all at once because there's like 6 of them, right? And they're all leaders on the team, so that would destroy morale completely. So we can't do that. That's actually pretty realistic. But we don't want to have a whole bunch of old men on the squad, and that's another big part of the problem, which is that these guys get so tired so quickly. You know, we can't do much about it. Here's a corner for us. And ends up being knocked back. Ian Q ends up getting it and then losing possession right away. And this is the other thing, right? Guys like Ian Q is, I believe he's an older player. That's the thing. The players who are playing poorly are not the 15 and 16-year-olds. It's the older guys. Those are the guys who are not playing well. The kids are doing just fine. Lee Ki-sung ends up having the ball taken away from him right away. And so we haven't given up a goal yet, but we don't look like we've been in control of much of anything so far in this match. And they have a shot on goal, but Novak, speaking of 15-year-olds, is able to grab that one out of the air, no problem at all. Novak has been an absolute breath of fresh air here for this squad, and is part of the reason why we had so many people upset, because I got rid of our old keeper. He was 21, but he's just not as good. That's the problem. And when you're not as good, we got to get rid of you. Osmar is going to have this on the left side over to Lee Tae-suk, to Ian Q. Ian Q. Up looking for someone, ends up with Oh Sang-jin, who takes a shot from range, and that almost went in. Somebody was offside, I guess. I didn't really see that. It's kind of hard, I think, to be offside like that, but whatever. All right, we'll see what happens next. Well, we win the ball back. It goes to Osmar, back to Inkyu, to Kim Jin-sung, over to Oh Sang-jin, who had the ball in front. He really was offside, I think. They didn't call it that time. So when we're not offside, they call it. And when I'm pretty sure he's offside right there, they don't call it. Oh Sang-jin scored 2 goals his first match and hasn't done anything since. He doesn't have a very good personality either, which is not going to bode well for him in the long term. We're just hoping that something comes of him in the short term, and he has a relatively poor rating. He's going to come off here at halftime. He's nervous. Everyone's nervous because I like to find players who don't play well, and if you don't play well, you get fined. That's what happens. So that's the way it is. It says here on the side that we're in control of the match, statistically at least, which I guess is okay, but we need a goal to actually be in control. We haven't scored a goal in, I think it's almost 3 matches now, so it's been a couple of hours since we've scored. Lee Yun-sung wins this and then hits it straight to them in a very good position for the Al-Jazira attackers, and so that was pretty bad. Go Yo-han ends up with this in the back, and maybe that'll help a little bit. But I mean, what is this? Who are you passing to? What are you thinking? Right, this is the thing I wish I could do in the game. I wish I could talk to the guy and like show him video and say, hey, what were you doing here? What is the thought process? There's nobody there. You're passing the ball to nobody. Right? Is there a reason why you're giving up control so quickly? Why don't you hold on to the ball and maintain control and show a little bit of confidence instead of playing like that? We've given up another corner, and so if we can stop them from scoring here before halftime, I think it'll be pretty good. but we'll see what we can do. It'll be Al-Rezi who takes this corner, and it's headed up and away. And now we have to continue to play defense. Part of the problem that we have with the World Super League is that if you have morale issues, and we still apparently have them, like there's not a lot of room. We can't go play like a bunch of friendlies, and make people feel better about themselves. Go Johan having a poor match. This is one of these guys who's 30-something who we really should just get rid of. Oh Sang-jin's a little bit different, and we'll just take him off here. But Go Johan is the sort of player that I don't like seeing on my team. I don't like seeing these guys who are older, who take up a lot of salary, who happen to be squad leaders, so you can't just get rid of them. All right, we make 2 changes. Let's see what we can do here in the second half. And we're without the ball, but then they just give it up to us. I'm not sure what that was. That went off of the top of his toe, and he just stood there. So whatever that was supposed to be, Kim Jin-sung ends up with this over to Ki Sung-young. And he is tackled in the penalty area, but there is no foul called. And I think that was probably a good no call. It looked like a little bit of a dive, and the problem is now we have to get the ball back. I would rather that he hold on to the ball than dive, right? Like try to maintain possession and actually try for it and let the ref worry about whether it's a penalty or not, instead of trying to cheat one through like that was. Iki Song with it over to Yin Gyu, and unfortunately they get the ball back and they have numbers, and this looks really scary. Novak with a good save. Now, I'll say another thing, which is that we have yet to have a player really stand out. We've yet to have anybody so far in the squad show that they're capable of scoring goals. We've yet to have anybody show that they're an excellent player, and that includes Ihan Boom, who's supposed to be one of the best players in the league. He hasn't shown up at all really so far, and he hasn't done anything to impress. In fact, if anything, he's been kind of making me feel that we probably should move on with him. So let's see what we can do. Still nothing. A draw is okay if our goal in the end is to finish sort of mid-table, maybe in the top half of the table. A draw is okay. That's what's going to get us there, right? But it would be nice to play a little bit better. And you have to remember that I think that this team we're playing against is like second or third in the league at the moment. So, it's a pretty good team. But the thing you have to remember, and the reason why I don't think that, we're incapable of beating them is that we were second in the league not too long ago. And, this isn't a league that has like a single team that's completely dominant. So, we should be able to do a little bit better than this. Anyway, 30 minutes left here in this match. We don't look like we're really going to do much to try to score. I think we're going to have to take our defensive midfielder off, but this is a problem because we don't have anyone to come on for him, and that's where the difficulty comes from. It's these injuries to players in key positions, and all we do is we just give the ball up in midfield again, and that's pretty bad. All right, we need to play better than this. This is getting ridiculous. And we're going to see more fines come at the end of this if we just can't score. We need to be able to score. This is getting pretty bad. All right, so we'll make a change and see what we can do. Everybody seems happy, motivated, and whatever, which is fine, but we need you to go out and score goals. That's what we need. We don't need you to feel happy about yourself. That doesn't mean anything. Ihan Bun's going to come off again. That's the thing. And, so this is the final day of the current transfer season, but I'm thinking about is the winter transfer season, which starts in January, I think it is. We might get rid of Ihan Bum there if he's not producing. He's worth a lot of money, and it might be better for us to just get rid of him and just do a complete rebuild. Because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous for us to pay a bunch of money for a player who's not contributing and not doing anything useful and who gets tired after 60 minutes. It's been numerous matches now in which that's happened. And this is, that was really bad. We had Novak way out of position. I'm not sure if he knew where the ball was. And so we've given up another corner here, which is fortunate for us. And Novak goes over and grabs it out of the air. So it looks like we're heading towards a board draw unless something interesting happens here, and it looks like it's not really happening. We'll do a little bit more, demand more, and see if that does anything. Yeah, people are motivated, fired up. It's good to be motivated and fired up. I want to see you score a goal. That's what I want to see. Motivated and fired up doesn't do much. You can be motivated and fired up and give up a goal. So, what a goal that would have been. That wasn't really going anywhere. Still nothing, and it's... Again, a draw, I think, probably suits us pretty well here. Not giving up a goal, I think, is a good sign of what our defense is capable of doing. Noel with an excellent save there at the very, very end, and that's probably going to be the end. I don't think there's going to be enough time even for this corner. They're going to try to hurry it up, and they do get it out there, and it ends up doing nothing, and we win it, and this should be the very end. There it is. Nothing, the final score. Interested to see what the XG is. Yeah, I mean, we had 0.75. They had 1.41. By the way, this bar here is broken. This should be like right here somewhere, right? So it's another thing in Football Manager that's broken. I know there's the new game out now. From what I understand, there's a lot of things wrong with it as well. Anyway, board draw, nothing. And all we learned from this is that we can play defense and that our guys are motivated. So talk to you later. Bye.